Today's episode is brought to you by Grumpy Graphics, Aberdeen's vehicle branding and wrapping specialists. If you want to turn your vehicle into a moving advert for your business, their expert team can design and install high-quality wraps that get your brand noticed everywhere you go. From single vans to fleets, Grumpy Graphics creates bold, eye-catching designs that help businesses stand out on the road. A professionally wrapped vehicle works for you 24 hours a day, promoting your business wherever you drive. To see their latest work or get a quote, search Grampian Graphics on social media. Grampian Graphics, style that sticks.
Three managers, countless meltdowns, and enough drama to fill a Netflix series. Welcome to the Sheepfiddlers season review. Over the next 4 episodes, we'll revisit the madness that was Aberdeen's 25-26 campaign, starting with the Jimmy Thelin chapter, a time where hope was high, expectation was higher, and none of us knew what was coming next. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Sheepfiddlers podcast, and welcome to part 1 of our Aberdeen season review. Now, some people spend their summer holidays relaxing, switching off and forgetting about football. We've decided to do the exact opposite and relive the absolute roller coaster that was Aberdeen 2025-26 season. Some might call this therapy, others might call it self-harm. This season had everything: hope, despair, confusion, questionable defending, managerial changes, and enough drama to keep an entire season of a soap opera going. And because one podcast simply isn't enough to cover the madness, we're splitting this review into 4 parts, following the 3 men who took charge of Aberdeen this season. In part 1 and part 2, we'll look back at Jimmy Thelin's time in charge, from the optimism, the expectations, and the moment where we thought this could be the start of something special. Part 3, we will cover Peter Leven's spell in charge, as the club tried to steady the ship. And Part 4 will take us through Stephen Robinson's chapter and how the season eventually came to its conclusion. Along the way, we will revisit every game, every talking point, every meltdown, every moment of brilliance, and probably ask ourselves several times, how did this actually happen? Just before we spend the next hour reopening old wounds and asking, how did we actually lose that game again? Let's deal with what's happening in the here and the now. The season is barely cold, but there are still talking points coming out of Cormack Park and Pittodrie. So let's start with Aberdeen news. Club captain Graham Shinnie has chosen to leave the Dons. He was offered a new deal that included coaching, but the stumbling block seemed to be game time. I think the club could have handled this better. If they were so far apart on the game time, then the decision should have been quicker, in my opinion. And then he could have been given a proper send-off.
Yeah. He deserves one. Or deserved one.
It's not my opinion, not your opinion.
That's why I said it was my opinion.
My opinion is the club's offered something. It's up to him to decide to take it or not. If he's not taking it, then what else is the club going to do? Is he going to wait and hold because they do want to keep him?
Yeah, but then I think the talk should have happened a lot sooner than they did.
Don't disagree with that, but I think I called this about 6 weeks ago and I said he's going to go Cali, so he's probably been waiting and holding off to go Cali anyway, I think.
Yeah, but you also said Hearts would win the league.
No, that was you.
That was that side of the table.
That was your side of the table, I said that. So no, I know where you're coming from. The club should have done more, but I still don't think anything could have changed. I think club offering a deal. It's been him that's delayed the decision, basically. There is rumours that the decision from the club also changed.
Yeah.
Apparently, which is, if that's true.
I'm not sure how much I'm going to believe those rumours, but
yeah.
To me it feels far too similar to the Considine situation.
It's close to that.
It feels like we've not offered enough and we should have really just given the cunt what he wants.
I don't agree with that.
I don't think Shinnie's going to be asking for outrageous wages, outrageous.
He's top earner. He's top earner in the club.
I don't think he is.
He was top earner in the club. He was top earner in the club. And if you have half his wage, then do you know what I mean? He's 30, whatever it is. he's going to play, let's say, 20 games in the season potentially.
You don't need to cut his wages at all. If you're giving him a job as a player/coach, you're doing 2 roles.
Yeah. I think his head was in going home to Cali all along. So
That's an early appearance for the horse a day, like, isn't it?
it's just
The thing for me is what my brother said was that, like, my whole life I've had, or me and him, we've had someone at Aberdeen who is Mr. Aberdeen, and now for the first time there isn't anyone.
True. No, you do that.
What, Dave Cormack? What are you talking about? He is
Very much.
Mr. Aberdeen. He's been Mr. Aberdeen since he was a wee kid.
I totally agree. We should just kept Shinnie because he sets the standard. As you said, he's an Aberdeen. He sets that kind of what's expected for any player who comes to the door. But I think you can all offer what we can offer for what we need him for, and he feels he maybe wants to play more game time. So I think that's where Inverness comes into that. Also takes him home as well. I know Aberdeen has his home technically, but Cali was his home originally.
He's had a house in Newland, hasn't he? So.
Yeah, he lives in there now.
Yeah, it's just that I think it should have just been decision should have been made before the end of the season, and that's where I think it should have been done by the club. And if they were that far apart, it's not like Robinson had just come in the door. You know what I mean? There was time for him to decide if he wanted him or not, and if it should have been done before.
But I don't think they were far apart. I just think the offer was on the table, and Shinnie was waiting to see if Cali got promoted or not. And then he decided, I'm going to Cali. And at that point, what's the manager supposed to do? In terms of the last few games of the season, we've seen he changed the team a lot. He changed the team about. He changed different players. If he knows that Shinnie's not going to stay, then you may as well play other players.
Maybe. Fair enough. Better news though. So 3 signings in a day, which
surprise.
It was a massive surprise. Even got me being very positive for a change. So Brad Lyons and Lewis Mayo have signed pre-contracts. So when their contracts run out at Kilmarnock, they will become Aberdeen players. And then Alexander Budel from Austrian side Blau Weeb Linz. I think I got that right.
We shouldn't put an accent on.
You said it perfectly.
I think, the 2 signings, 2 players that have obviously played a lot of football in Scotland, so they know the league. I think that's a massive positive for that too. And I think the Brudil signing, I think that's got Lutz written all over it. That's a player he obviously knows about. And, I'm encouraged to see what he's going to bring to the table.
I was expecting maybe a ketchup or a brown sauce if there are Lions and Mayo coming in. But, we've been given enough grief to Sandy J, so now we're going to potentially give some praise to a Sandy B. So let's hope next season brings good times for Sandys.
Yeah. We've also been linked with submitting captain Mark O'Hara. I think that's an interesting one. Kilmarnock are interested in him as well. Is he maybe pushing the age bracket a little bit?
Yeah, I think he's at slightly wrong end of his career for us.
Yeah, possibly.
Being a good player who maybe should have looked at a few years back, but
willing to sign him, but not willing to keep Shinnie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think we've got Lions anyway. I'm not sure O'Hara adds anything else to that.
No, because then if you sign him as well, then what are you saying to some of the young boys?
We're still not going to give you a chance.
It's also not going to leave much room for Gogic coming in either, is it?
But if you look at our midfield now, as is going into next season, Lions, Armstrong, Aramu. We still got Palaversa, but he's probably gone.
But he's pretty much going.
But Kjartansson, Aramu, Lions, Armstrong. That's 4.
Oh, solid
starters. So
got Marshall coming into that as well.
Marshall can play as like a 10, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Alfie Stewart as well could add to that. We might be done in midfield.
Could be, because I think we don't have Europe, so I think if you're playing 3 in midfield which is I think what we're going to be doing.
It's not going to be any more, is it?
No, I think six is a good number. You got 2 for every position, effectively.
Yeah.
I think that's
And if some of them are younger players like Marshall, Stewart, or Kjartansson, quality.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Future.
We've also been linked with Connor Rowan, who is currently at Colorado Rapids. He was on loan at St Mirren in 21-22 season under Robinson, so Robinson's obviously going to know him.
I think we were actually tight with him around about then as well.
Yeah.
He did well at something.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's him or if I got confused with that Ronan Hale County.
No, it was this guy. I know what you're talking
I definitely remember the name. I
Yeah.
can't remember
Yeah.
what he's like.
He was like attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
Kind of like a 10.
And obviously there's the Olasanya rumours as well that he's going to be coming back.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely a player that's going to divide opinion amongst the fan base. But for me, I think if you get away from the one goal, the actual goal creation and chance creation, that his
winning penalties.
Yeah, just he doesn't know what he's doing. So how the fuck's a defender supposed to know what he's doing?
Do you think the Olasanya deal is in limbo until the deal with Yengi? Because if you think about what you just said there, does simply score goals, puts himself about, and no one knows what he does. Yengi's probably that exact. I don't know what he can do.
But Yengi doesn't drag a team off a pitch.
Yeah.
No,
He's not an outball.
Yeah. Even if you take away,
I think one way of looking at it is Nisbet plays better with a second striker. Olasanya plays better with someone up front. Yengi can play up front on his own.
well, my thought was, I want us to stay with 2 up front. I don't see, and this is not me having a dig at Yengi, I don't see Nisbet working with that type of striker.
No.
Nisbet needs a prick that just runs about and leave him in the box. I think Yengi's the type of person, he'll be the one who wants to be in the middle. So I don't think you can play Yengi and Nisbet.
I think it's 3v1 here, Alan.
I think we potentially had the perfect partner for Nisbet.
Who?
Sold him a year ago.
Sokler.
Yeah, I think Yengi could do the Olasanya role. We just haven't seen it.
Nah. He hasn't got the legs. He hasn't got the ball control.
Look,
Trust
me, I don't think he's a good player, but I just mean, like, from a club's point of view, if we're saying that he's a top earner,
he's definitely a high earner.
So then you're going to have to get rid of him before you bring someone in anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think.
I'm not saying that we should keep Yankee. I'm definitely not saying that. I just mean, like, from the club looking at if they look at the other players they've got.
Do still have
Is
Yengi as a striker as well.
Is Yengi the perfect example about what Robinson said when he said the players that have got contracts that we don't want to keep, they could just fucking sit on them?
Yeah.
Is that kind of being aimed at Yengi, that he is one of the players? And I'm not having a pop at him, because if I was in his position and I'm getting paid X a week and someone's coming in and not offering me the same, I'd be saying, I'm not moving anywhere for less money.
And especially to all the fans who turned it on straight away.
Yeah.
I didn't even give him a chance, really.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think it's a tough one.
Got Pete as well coming back.
Oh, big Ambrose. What about him? Peter!
Oh,
Like a new signing.
We're fine up front.
Yeah.
well, he's had his time away.
Yeah.
Now we'll use him as a shove, just like Shady Mo.
No, he's not a shady old type. He's a Pappy Git. He's going to come back.
Oh,
and
yes.
be our best
First
player.
half of the season, he is going to be storming it.
And then horrific injury.
Yeah.
Then he'll be all right.
The only thing I worry about Yankee coming back is Robinson loves a big striker like a Mandron.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And Yankee fits that. I think
He does.
does for Robertson, does he keep Yankee because he can't get rid of him, right?
No one will take him.
and use him as that. Sometimes if we need a sole striker, he's got someone to do it.
I think that potentially
It's a very expensive.
is a tactic where when we want Nisbet to get our goals, we play 2 up front with Olasanya. We want more midfield, we play Yengi up front. He's a target man to link in our attacking 3, as it would be.
I don't know. Yankee's just divides opinion, does it?
I've made a divide.
I think most people are in pretty well agree.
Majority, like.
He's shite. But saying that, we all said that about Pappy.
Yeah, we did in the first season, yeah.
He was awful.
Yeah.
First season, he couldn't control the ball. Everything bounced off him, which, to be fair, that is exactly what Yengi was.
Yeah.
So maybe.
And it goes down to what you just said about you don't know what he's going to do. You didn't know what Pape was going to do.
Yeah.
Well, I think all of Sanya or potentially Yengi, you don't know what they're going to do with the ball.
All you wanted him to do was hit that.
So League Cup draw was this week. I feel like it's just, we're not doing bleat of the week, but I feel I'm going to let it turn into my own bleat of the week here. So yeah, bring the horse back in once now Alan's off of it, and I'll jump on. So we've got drawn Queen's Park, Queen of the South, Kelty Hearts, and Brora Rangers. Queen's Park and Kelty will be at home on Saturday, on the 2 Saturday dates. We missed the first date. And then our away games at Queen of the South and Brora will be on a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night. How the fuck is that fair for fans to expect us to travel to the most northern game and the most southern game on fucking midweek? That's an absolute shambles. Now, I know I've got a little bit in this because I'm on holiday with the Brora game and I really wanted to go to that. But the fact that it's midweek, that's just not fuck. You're taking trains to Brora out of the equation. You're probably taking trains to fucking to Dumfries out of the equation as well. How is that fair to fans? It's not fair. Because of the distance, they should have been the Saturday games.
Yeah.
Also, how did we end up getting 4 hugs?
Yeah.
A Hearts, a Rangers, and 2 Queens.
Oh, it's almost a royal flush.
It's like on X, like it's not like Rangers fans more than Aberdeen fans because we're having to travel, because we kick off a bit of travel. They're shut up and all that. Like, get the fuck you be moaning about it as well. You have to go to fucking Pro on a Tuesday night.
Exactly.
They could pause for like the early rounds of this, bring in a north, south, east, west potentially.
Yeah.
But the
just
thing
to
is,
save this sort of shit.
but then I don't have a problem with the fact that we've been drawn against these teams. It's
the midweek.
common sense. Fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think they've taken into account that play the Aberdeen games on at home on the Saturday, because then they'll get bigger crowds for tickets being sold. And the away games, the people that are going to go to the away games are going to go regardless of whether it's a Tuesday night or a fucking Saturday.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened.
Aberdeen, well known in Scottish football, we travel well.
Mm-hmm.
So we would be taking big crowds down there or up there, which would be great for these clubs. And now it's not going to be as much as it would have been.
Yeah. But hey ho, there's my complaining. So
It's not like you.
Well, you can play there. I never heard you.
So season review time. That's why we're here. So I think we should start with the ins and outs. First of all, so at the end of the 24-25 season, sorry, 25-26. No, 24. I was right the first time.
Yeah.
24-25 season. Alfie Dorrington, Ode DeBar, Jeppe Ockels, and Kevin Nisbets all went back to their parent clubs with Scottish Cup winners' medals, which was great for them. A couple of players left us under freedom of contract. So Jamie McGrath headed to Hibs, Ross Doohan headed to Celtic, Jack McKenzie for Plymouth
With a black eye.
with a black eye. Yeah, less said about that, the better. Jamie McGarry headed back over to Brisbane Roar. At the times, what were your thoughts on players leaving the club?
That was the worst decision.
I think there's 3 out of the 4. I think 4 out of 4 you wouldn't want to lose.
I think at the time, though, I thought none of them were irreplaceable. And as much, I thought Nisbet and Daba had come in and done really well for us. I thought we'd quite easily find a replacement for them. I think he was obviously one of our better players. Yeah, we've discussed this before. Now looking back, absolutely 100%, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't think it was that killer. I did think we would get someone else in to do his role and we'd be all right.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at it from the end of contract kind of side of things. Like you said, knowing what we know now, right? Forget that. It's at the time.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? At the end of contract, Jimmy McGrath to Hibs, really bad. Ross Doohan to Celtic, we needed a backup keeper. He went there. I was disappointed that he went there. He didn't do that much, but he was still a half decent keeper. The fact he's going back to Celtic, what the fuck? Then you look at Jack McKenzie. I still think we do miss him. At that point.
Looking back now, we could have probably done with keeping him because of the issues we've had at left back. But
and then McGarry, okay, he was injury prone, but he was still a good player.
He was all right. But yeah, that did just.
I think Jamie McGarry was the one I was the least disappointed was McGarry.
Yeah.
I think the other three I was a bit more disappointed.
In the loans, you look at Alfie. Spells.
We were never getting them
No.
permanently.
No.
And I don't think it was a huge loss.
I think someone goes at that point, Kevin Nisbet. I thought we were going to be priced out of the market. At that time, I thought, he's done a bit for us. Let's say win the Scottish Cup, whatever. Goes back to Millwall. I thought he was going to be a £1 million, £1.5 million player. We would never get him.
No need for us to even try again.
Yeah, but McGrath for me was definitely the one.
Yeah,
that was one I thought at the time we had an option on him, and I was kind of like, well, maybe we've got it, just bring him in because he's, he got us to the final, he scored a penalty in the final. Like he did enough.
Yeah.
Wasn't amazing.
Well, he got us through in the semi.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean,
Ockles was the only one that at the end of a loan.
Did he actually get a goal?
Ockles, yeah,
One.
Dundee United.
United,
one. How many times did he score? But it was offside.
That was a couple of.
There's a fair few got chopped off. We also had other players leaving. Either they were sold or they were out on loan. So it's just obviously before the players came back for pre-season. So Finlay Marshall got loaned out to Arbroath. Bissauin went to HJK Helsinki. Alfie Babbage to Inverness. Papi Gay was sold to Kasimpasa for apparently €1.2 million, which that's fucking good business.
That was good.
I think we did well there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and Richard Jensen went on a free to Palianosis. I don't think my pronunciations have been bad so far.
Funny honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they were the. Fuck you. I don't have any problems with any of the players that left at that point. I think 1.2 million for Papi Gay is.
But you never turn that down.
You're not Aberdeen's not.
We're not doing McKenna. You know what I mean? You get an initial offer of 10 million, then he plays shite, and you get offered less and less and less.
Yeah.
So at that time, he had a good spell.
Yeah.
You've been offered that money, take it and run.
Yeah.
It was good to make profit on him, but he was probably the first starting 11 player that we'd gone and sold. So needed to replace him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely selling him at the right point. It's like basically, it was like Stanley Cosgrove.
There was every chance his next season was going to be pitched.
Yeah, exactly. We sold Stanley Cosgrove at the right point, 2 million.
Yeah.
And then he was fucking shit in England. Papi Gay's gone. You can't not take that money.
No. You know, he was the last king of Scotland, but unfortunate. We brought in a pacey winger in the name of Nicholas Milanovic from Western Sydney Warriors. Nick Suman came from Cove Rangers to go and be backup goalkeeper. We signed Yengi from Portsmouth. We got left back Gafami from Schalke for 300 grand. Holding midfielder K2, we'll go with that. Undisclosed fee. Fuck yeah. It was the first name that was tripping me up there. From Iceland, and I'm not even trying that one.
Jarnan.
Yeah. I could barely.
Jarnan.
Creative midfielder Abdul Ushish on loan from Sunderland, which apparently there was a deal in there already that we were signing him at the end of the loan, but that didn't really come to fruition. And Alfie Dorrington came back from Tottenham on a loan. I think there was, when some of these players came in, Milanovic,
an exciting prospect.
Yeah, we looked at him and thought there's a player there. Gefame, going by the Schalke fans,
Oh, they were distraught.
You'd thought they just sold their star player. So I thought that was definitely an interesting player. And obviously there's been a little bit of hype around Kjartansson, and even some people that don't support Aberdeen, they were saying that Ushish was going to be a player for us.
Yeah.
So
knowing a couple of Sunderland fans, they were like, "Thank fuck you've got him." They were wanting rid of him. He's very creative, very good. He says he's got no end product. Which at the time when we got them, that was what was said.
On the face of it, at the time, all these signings, like, that's fucking brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well.
On the face of it.
Before we knew about Yengi, right?
Yeah, no, but
again, the guy who had played X amount of games and had scored fucking 0 goals in however many minutes, you're thinking, great data analysis, let's get that straight.
Here's the difference between the 3 signings we've made this season and all the signings.
Forget that.
No, but we've signed 3 players in one day. 2 of them we know everything about.
Yeah.
We can see how they'll work in our team. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
And only one of them we know about.
Only one of them we knew about, and that's because he played for us the season before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So at the time, we couldn't really judge anything. We didn't know anything about any of these players. It was, on the face of it, very exciting, because you got a boy that's just missing out on Premier League football, going to be our number 10 for the season. One of the, top 5 young midfielders in Europe. Kjartansson coming in.
Yeah.
The thing is, under Thelin, previous to coming to Aberdeen, his 6 years in, across the pond, he was very much a lot of players in and out transfer wise, like January and summer transfer windows. We lost players and then we took a lot of players in, and I think going by his patterns, it was similar. He was taking punts on players, and he was selling a lot of players for a lot of money. But he was taking a lot of punts, and that's, you look at that list, as you quite rightly said, you don't necessarily know how good half of them are.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. We had obviously pre-season where we played Cove and Ipswich in front of fans and Fulham behind closed doors. For me, it seemed like a very low amount of pre-season games. Did the squad come into the season a little bit half-baked? And given that our Hearts was the first game away from home, and they'd come off the back of pre-season games and 4 competitive games being in the League Cup, I was even thinking this was a mistake at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it very weird. I don't understand that.
It felt very quick.
Because normally we'd have a few local fixtures, and then go away to camp, and you know what I mean. It just
ideally, if you want to play a handful of teams like Cove, where easy games will show up, you will just win, but it's just getting minutes back into the players. To just have one game and then go play Ipswich and Fulham, where, that's us testing ourselves. Okay, yeah, that's putting us on a level that we want to be playing against, but that's probably just a little bit too early for teams that players that haven't even met each other before.
The only thing I can remember as well is Yankee scored against Fulham as well. But none of us seen it.
That game was over before we knew it was even on.
Yeah, exactly.
Dorrington signed that day.
Yeah, he basically came out in the announcement. So, yeah. Anywho, so the Dons opened their league season campaign on the 4th of August with a 2-0 defeat at Tynecastle to Hearts. Looking back, we were outplayed in key moments, conceded goals from poor defensive structure and dealing with second balls. The Dons looked off the pace pretty much for the whole game, but I think that the biggest takeaway was we had 3 really, really good chances in this game, and we just didn't take them.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, you had a good chance in that game.
Yeah.
I think I've said to you before about if he takes that chance, there's a different season for him completely. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But, we definitely, that 3 chances we had in that game were.
I think the first one he was a little bit unlucky, the one that hits the post, but the one from the corner where I think I said to you at the game, he looked offside. He wasn't.
No.
He wasn't offside, and he should fucking bet it.
How different a season could have been for him if he pushed one or two of them away, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Mental.
How different could it have been for a season in Scottish football? And that's right on the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Look where Hearts went and look where we went.
Yeah. Well, we went to Europe, did
Second game of the season was 6 days later on the 10th. So, first home game of the season, and we got beat 2-0 by Celtic.
Yeah, so, Aberdeen started the game pretty brightly, to be honest. There was obviously a decent crowd atmosphere in Pittodrie as well. So, but, standard kind of Celtic mentality, really, they settled into the game. And then, we looked miles off it, to be honest with you, like physically. And I think it kind of goes back to what you've talked about in terms of maybe pre-season games not been enough. Nikan opened the scoring. That just killed the atmosphere in the stadium a little bit. Celtic kind of controlled the game in large spells, and then inevitably Atai scored the second goal. I think we struggled. We struggled dealing with the movement, the pace of the team. The Celtic had with moving about, and under obviously Rodgers at that time, that's the way they played. They were a decent team at that point. One of the biggest criticisms I think in the match was that Aberdeen looked too passive. And to be honest with you, a lot of us, maybe not all of us here, but a lot of fans were definitely questioning whether Thelin's system was too open, or maybe the squad just wasn't suited to what he wanted. So I think there was a bit of a challenge in that game, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think the system's gonna come up a lot as we talk through this. We seem to play far too much in front. For Celtic being, everyone looks at Celtic and says they're weak at the back, they're weak in goals, but we just played in front of them. We let Callum McGregor dictate the pace of the game, which if you're going to let Callum McGregor do that against any team, Celtic are going to attack. We just didn't seem to be aggressive enough. We just didn't get into them.
And the funny thing is, that was the first game against them since the win of the Scottish Cup.
Yeah.
Where we weren't very much that into them at points, do you know what I mean? So, way off them.
Looking back, it does early signs definitely that we didn't do enough in pre-season. The squad didn't look like they knew each other.
Yeah.
I do remember at the start of the season, quite long into it, actually still being like, it still looks like we're in pre-season. They never quite got settled with each other. Part of that being down to kept changing the team, but early signs were we've already fucked the season.
So before our next game, transfer news. So in came Kenan Bilalovic, 700 grand from IFK Varnamo, and this was on the 14th of August. He was billed as another pacey winger, obviously to go as one of the wider players in the front three. Interesting. Another player we just didn't really know that much about.
No, young as well.
Yeah.
But adding to what we already had with Keskinen and Milanovic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we'll get on to him a little bit later on as well.
There's a few things
There's quite a lot of talk about it.
Repeatedly throughout this.
Yes. We'll try and keep it. What we'll try to do is we'll try to keep it as we were at the time as we go through the season, because we're just going to end up repeating ourselves.
Yeah.
So
who won the league again? Already?
So we started off our League Cup campaign on the 16th in sunny Morton. The Dons winning 3-0 that day.
Yeah, just what you say. Travelling down to sunny Morton, great day, absolute biling. The burger van queue was massive, so none of us got a drink. And the wee man was chomping at a bit for a drink, so he wasn't too chuffed. But overall, a comfortable win for us. 2 opening goals came so close, which knocked the stuffing out of Morton. We controlled most of the game as well. We took the chances that we should have taken, but we should have taken a few more. Yengi getting off a score sheet from 4 inches out. But yeah, pretty much job done. On the next round. And to be fair, were we actually any better than the other 2 games? Personally, I don't think we were. But that's my opinion. How great is that?
Yeah.
Not very much.
I do think that we were still as passive as we were against Celtic, even though it was a lesser opposition. Didn't really cut them open that much.
No.
I didn't think Morton were particularly great that day, but I don't think
The squad at that time was built to be Europa League standard. And we only beat Morton 3-0.
I think when the first goal went in, it wasn't even much of a celebration. It was that a goal? Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It tells you everything when Nelson scored.
Nelson and Yengi are the two. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Nelson and Yengi.
Yeah. So first couple of goals for the season, but I think even with you try to take away what happened the rest of the season, it wasn't a great performance.
No.
But it's a win.
Yeah.
It takes us to the next round of the cup.
Yeah.
It's another one of those great day away, not a great performance.
No.
Yeah. So a bit more transfer news before our next game. So Marko Lazetic came in on a free from AC Milan. I think, coming from AC Milan will bring a little bit of reputation with you. I was quite excited by this signing.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Sam?
Yeah, thought it was going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It was an incredible deal as well, was it not? Did we not get him for free? And it was meant to be like 50% selling, but when we got it down to 20%,
something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Like outrageous deal.
You're looking at that
On the
two
face of
angles. It's like AC Milan. When do we ever sign anyone from AC Milan? He's either going to be shite or he's going to be amazing, and he just hasn't done what he, has grown at the potential.
Yeah. Out went Slobodan Rubišić. So he'd obviously had a bit of a loan, and he's went out on a free transfer to Corona Kaise. I think that's how you say that. So yeah, I wish it had worked out for Ruby.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely love him.
Yeah,
same. Yeah, I think he's a brilliant defender. Obviously, there was personal things in the background. I think one passed away, etc. And he went back. Yeah, it's unfortunate what happened with him, to be honest.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a lot more of him.
I did.
So we then, on the 21st, we had the home leg of our Europa League playoff against FCSB, formerly known as Steaua Bucharest.
Or as my fantasy team's called, Steaua Suka Brest.
So on the night...
I thought you were going to say formerly named as Prince.
So on the night was a 2-2 draw.
Yeah. From memory, going into this is our reward for winning the Scottish Cup. This is what we've put our squad together for. From memory, we had a brilliant atmosphere at Pittodrie from the start of that game, and started as the season had started for us. Cut open far too easily. Defensive mistakes, Malloy. Milne coming across to help Malloy. Neither of them really doing anything. They get a goal. Red card, I'll be honest, I don't remember them getting a red card, but I think that has helped us for the rest of the game. We go 2-0 down, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I remember build up to this game, there was a lot of talk, specifically for Polvara amongst fans, wanting him to get some starts. So that means for all the games up until now, he hasn't been playing. He comes on, as does Esther Sockler. Polvara does brilliantly to leather one into the back of the net with his left foot, and Sockler levels the tie right at the end of the game. We had chances, we could have scored more. Definite positives going into the next week. We could have won it. I think there was still a little bit of positivity around the club still.
Yeah. I think I think as negative as Aberdeen fans we can be, I think we were looking at the positives here, and you could see that there was quality in Steaua Bucharest. But I do think we should have done more to get. We shouldn't have conceded the goals we conceded.
Yeah.
But we should have taken more of our chances. And that has been something that's been, for a while. We're just not ruthless enough.
Yeah. It also goes back to the frailty that we had defensively, and we were making errors and mistakes, and it was really costing us big time.
Yeah.
You know.
It was. We were starting to see the signs that we could build something here. There are good players there. Yeah, the tactic was still, I think, Keskin on one side, Milanovic the other,
Yeah.
she's through the middle. That, again, on paper, that's absolutely brilliant. That will be fine for us. It just wasn't clicking, and then we go and concede really easy goals at the other end. I think that just played into why our mentality was awful for the rest of the season.
Yeah. So we were supposed to play Dundee United that weekend, but the SFA, being kind for once, gave us the opportunity to postpone the game without having to get Dundee United to agree to it because we were playing in Europe. So we got a 7-day rest and to travel over to Bucharest. Memory serves me right, Norris travelled with the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he wasn't in the squad.
He wasn't in the squad. He went home to deal with a move. So I think that obviously disrupted us a little bit. We got beat 3-0 on the night. Sockler had a massive chance inside 2 minutes. He should have done better. Jensen gets booked stupidly. Was it kicking the ball away or
it was something?
It was something that he shouldn't be getting involved in. And then at the end of the first half, VAR gets involved to give Bucharest a penalty. And then Jensen gets a second yellow card. I've watched this, I don't know how many times, and I don't understand still how it's a pen, how it's a second yellow card.
Yeah.
Jensen's arm is moving before the ball is coming towards him. And it's kicked from such a close parameter. It's not handball. Even under these stupid rules, it's not.
These arms are in natural position.
Yeah.
There's nothing unnatural about it.
Exactly.
But I also kicked from a yard away.
Yeah.
I just remember on the day you Googling and having that Google AI saying that VAR cannot give a second yellow card. And we're just going, well, what the fuck has just happened here? But even more so, like, how can a referee look at that as many times as he did and say, yep, that's a deliberate handball from Sandy J?
Because the words deliberate is still in the rules.
To make it a yellow, we'll give the foul or whatever for a handball, but you're not going to book someone for it for just a handball.
And that really
needs to be deliberate.
That really did knock the stuffing out of us. The tie was done then. You know, you're away from home. They scored it right on half time as well. They get another 2 goals, which were just further nails in the coffin. We're in the Conference League.
And this is just the start of the VAR controversy of the season.
Yes, exactly. No, I don't think we can be ashamed of what we did against Bucharest. You could see that they were a good side.
Oh,
they were ruthless at Pataudry. They were ruthless over there as well.
I think part of the heart is really wanted to do one over that prick of an owner they had.
Yeah. The fact that he said he would bribe the referee to get through and then you get that decision is a very interesting one. But hey, that's proper tinfoil hat quarters that I don't really want to go into today. Before our next game, we brought in another player. So Mitchell Frame came in from Celtic. I don't think he'd actually played for Celtic, had he? So he did.
Just youth.
Yeah. So that one looked like it was a potential. We don't really know what we're getting here.
Yeah.
But you're obviously a young player coming from this league. Can't complain.
Yeah, obviously, we can look back now and say, obviously, but he joined then and didn't play a game until, December, January. I can't imagine playing for our youth team or in the reserves. He improved massively.
No.
So I reckon the player we signed on that day was already good enough to start playing for us. Yamphy was injured at that point. I think Malloy had just got injured again around by then.
Yeah. And
why the fuck did we not play him?
And you could
give him a whole season.
Yeah, but I think you could probably put that because then we played Jensen at left back. When he can't play there.
More of my point.
Yeah, we ended up playing instead of him. We played Jensen when he's a right footer.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Just sometimes, you got to back your pipe a little bit. We've gone out there, we've bought a player. Back yourself.
Yep.
Play the cunt. Why buy all these players and put them in the squad? Like, play someone you buy.
Yeah, agreed.
I totally agree. It just doesn't make any sense. Then it was free Thelin signing because Thelin didn't play him.
Yeah.
So was he actually a Thelin signing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was he a signing from the club's perspective to think this is a youth player that we want to get now because he's available? But it wasn't a Thelin signing, clearly, because he didn't fucking play him.
Yeah, maybe.
Weird.
Maybe. So 31st of August, played Falkirk at Pittodrie and we're beaten 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't at this game actually. To be honest, I haven't seen any Falkirk games this season. So, that's a different ball game. But obviously, rewatching the game, the Dons created some chances in that first half. I think the game changed when Devlin was sent off thanks to a VAR decision. Very controversial, I would say.
No, that's a red card. He did it deliberately.
Follow through, I get it.
It's really stupid. The way he kicks that ball, he's 100% intending on catching him with his studs. For a guy of his age, that's utter stupidity. And the red card's fully deserved.
My feeling was, yes, it's a red, but the fact that the referee had seen it, was it clear and obvious?
Maybe, but swap the shirts and see what you say.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, there's that.
But also, the fact that we're at this point of the season, we've not scored a league goal, we were on top in that
it's
game.
starting to get worrying.
Yeah.
Well, there is that.
To be honest, I wanted to blame the referee more than my own team. So
I think that's a valid point in that game. We being by Celtic, being by Hearts, going into that game, a new team coming up, we would expect actually to take 3 points that day.
Yeah.
The Devlin getting sent off, even as controversial or not controversial, he's still stupid getting sent off. He's put his team in the fucking mire, really effectively. Then Falkirk went on and scored and won the game 1-0.
Quite a soft goal as well.
yeah, it's a soft goal.
But for them, great result for them to come up to Pittodrie, nearly the promoted side and beat us. But again, the story of our start of our season, no goals, no wins.
Another game of war.
Yeah.
But then we had a transfer deadline day, and I think we had our first panic of the season.
Well, going by, I wasn't in Bucharest, but apparently, going by what was seen online, Dave Cormack was telling anyone who would listen that Kevin Nisbet was signing for Aberdeen. Kevin Nisbet said he didn't know about it until the day before, which is interesting as well. But yeah, so we got transfer news on deadline day before the international break. So the players that came in were Kevin Nisbet from Millwall. At the time, and I still don't understand how we got there. Obviously, there's the connection with the manager and the player, but to be getting Jasper Carlson from Bologna on loan, that should have been like that. I was nursing a semi when we signed him. I'm not going to lie. He should have been tearing up our league. And then we got experienced central midfielder Stuart Armstrong coming back to play for us. Yeah, he's a good-looking lad.
That was just for the calendar sales.
I was these three players coming in. I went from thinking we had a questionable window to honestly, I believed at the time we'd have the best window in Scottish football by signing that three players.
They're three good players. What do you think of it?
Yeah,
Three very good players on the face of it. That looks very good. But we're 5 games into the season, or we've played 5 competitive games, and we're replacing our striker.
but it's a striker who did a job for us the year before.
Nothing wrong with getting Nisbet in. Just saying that we named our number 9. We said we weren't going to get Nisbet. And then last day, fuck, get Nisbet.
Yeah, there was the talks as well that apparently the club were in communication with bringing Miovski back. I don't think that was ever realistically going to happen. I think the money he would have been on in Spain was just going to be too much for us. And
I don't think they would have won a loan deal either. They wanted rid of him.
They wanted him off.
Yeah, they wanted
off a wage
Gotcha.
in that here.
Yeah. And, going by his interviews when he signed for the club that he signed for.
What club did he sign for?
No. We do not
No.
talk about that on this.
I think it was interesting, his interviews at the time was he was doing this for his family, which to me means they offered him money he couldn't turn down. Which,
That's just what that club do, though.
Yeah.
That's how they end up in so much trouble.
exactly.
That's not true. You could turn it down. You could get paid slightly less to do the same thing.
How many clubs are around the world? You get plenty of options.
What is it Terry Anderson once said? Once a don, always a don.
Yeah.
Not for that prick.
No.
Oh, well, yeah, Ian Jess summed it up quite nicely as well. He would never come back to Pittodrie wearing a Rangers shirt.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
So, we also had a couple of players that went out. Fletcher Boyd went to Aston Villa. Very good move for him.
Hopefully it goes well for him.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that never really saw him do much in an
Yeah, it wasn't a talent.
Sheedy Moe went to Luton Town for about £1 million.
Not bad for a sub, eh?
Yeah, not bad for a sub. I think that's money again, similar to Pape. It's money we can't refuse. And then Esther Sokler went out on loan to somebody I'm not even going to try and pronounce.
Come on.
No. Radnickel. Nah, I'm not getting that last part. If one of you want to hear crack at it.
I would have said Radniki Krajovic.
Radnicki Kragujevac.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, exactly. Sounded more like a sneeze. It's interesting that Esther Sokler's last involvement was away at Bucharest. I double checked this. He didn't feature against Falkirk.
He was also the last person to score a goal for us.
Just literally say that.
Yeah.
This has pissed me off for a while, the whole soccer thing. He should have been given the chance to be our starting striker last season.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing in Nisbet on loan, we should have gone with Esther Sokler then. He'd proven already he was good enough for our league. He was great as a partner and a deputy to Miowski. He was brought in to be his replacement, and then we never used him as his replacement. I think we really fucked up there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
There's a lot of examples of us replacing players before we've given them a shot.
I think, obviously, we're trying to talk here without we talk about as it in the moment, and even in the moment, this felt like
Wrong.
I think we can talk about that because he didn't play another minute for Aberdeen.
Yeah.
We really messed up with that.
Yeah.
And I think when it goes down to what you said before about the transfers early on, how we didn't know any of them.
We know Sokler.
We know Sokler.
Yeah.
So why do you go and bring a Yengi in or bring a striker and don't know anything about?
Yeah.
Whilst being
Place
our
him.
backup striker, he's got a bicycle at Easter Road.
Yeah. Whilst being the only one to,
Like being a bit
well, not
more
the only one,
player.
but the last player to have scored for us.
Yeah.
Then you go, right, see you later.
The fans were wanting him in the team before that FCSB game. Because it was him and Paul Barrow was the two that fans were calling for. They both came on, they both scored. We then loan out Sokler a week later. Like that's just fucking shite.
And I know we're talking about being in the moment or not, but
We can't
We
pretend
know-
it's not a year later.
yeah, but we know what happened after that.
Yeah.
How long did it take for us to score?
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, at that moment in time, why are you getting rid of
Yeah.
Sokler?
Yeah, I think that was the sour note. I think the players, as I said, the players we brought in were on the face of it, they should have done jobs for us.
Yeah.
And it would have been nicer if we kept Sokler as well, but we didn't. So it was international break, and then we got to see potentially some of these new signings on the 13th of September when we hosted Livingston.
I'll cover this one, David.
Yes.
This was a very exciting game. It was very scrappy to say the least.
should just end it there.
Yeah. What's the next game?
Yeah.
I mean, we created chances, but we just didn't take them. And did we hit the target that day at all?
No.
I don't think we did.
No, we didn't hit the target.
No shots on target. Because I don't think hitting the post counts as a shot on target.
No, it doesn't.
And the only one to hit the post was Lazatic with the last kick of the game.
Yeah.
And that's the most excitement of the whole game.
Yeah, I've got no memory of
very
this game.
frustrating. I don't think anyone has.
Got no
It's
memory.
one to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point in time, Lazetic has obviously come on late in that game. I think we're all at this point still excited by that signing.
Mhm.
We'd seen nothing of him and comes on, hits the post. Having not played in like a year or whatever it was.
In that game when he came on, I think he did more as a striker in the time he was on than I can't remember who was on at the time. I just remember saying
Probably Lisbon.
then whoever it was that we had on did more in the 5-10 minutes he was on than the 80-85 minutes that our other striker did or anybody else.
Yeah, one to forget. So on the 20th of September, we hosted Motherwell in the League Cup, which ended in a 1-0 defeat.
Yeah, great fun to continue our cup defences. We're always so good in cup competitions. Armstrong getting his first start. It was obviously good to see him back in Scotland, having not seen him while he was at Sheffield. I think this was a bit of a game where we were a little bit more into the game than we had been previously. And then it was a quality goal from memory from Charles Cook, just absolutely leathered it about halfway up the goal into the side net, and they had a bit of quality and we just didn't effectively.
I think Motherwell probably had more of the chances, but I think the best chance of the game fell to us. It was Noster's. He's
right
5 yards out and he smashed it off the bar.
Yeah.
For darkness.
Yeah. From there.
It's actually ridiculous looking back that was the 20th of September. We've still not seen a league goal.
Yep.
September.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, believe me, we've still got a few games to go through before we. But I do think when I left this game, I think this is where I started.
Hang on, it's Icelandic Airways. We'll spare that.
I do remember starting to have concerns after this performance because although the best chance of the match fell in Nosters, I don't remember us cutting Motherwell open. I don't remember getting in behind them. Everything was in front of them, and that had been the same for all the games so far. Everything was in front. It was building up from the back, which, if that's the way you want to play, that's fine. But it was 4 or 5 passes before they even thought about putting the ball forward.
Yeah, and I think that was becoming a bit of a common theme amongst Aberdeen fans was we're doing a lot of sideways and backwards passing, don't really look to try and get forward. We're hoping that one of our teammates will do something to get us through the defence, or they're going to make a mistake, and that's what we're banking on to try and make something happen.
I just remember that game because that was seeing Motherwell, we'd seen the highlights on TV from previous games, but seeing them actually visually playing football the way they played, from a new manager coming in here and getting people like Stephen Donnell and fucking Paul McGinn playing Brazil type football.
Yep.
And then we were sitting watching a team to fucking score a goal. Well, a manager who won the Scottish Cup the year before, and apparently was going to be the next big thing. But yet someone from Motherwell was actually smashing out of the park.
Yeah.
I mean, as you're saying, basically, you get into this sort of time, we maybe were a little bit too lenient off the back of winning the Scottish Cup. But if you take everything into account during Jimmy's time, we should have been questioning him then.
Yeah.
November till September with one good result. That's fucking horrendous for Aberdeen.
Yeah, agreed. So we headed down to Tannadice midweek on the 23rd of September to play the game that should have been in between the Bucharest games. This was fucking horrific. We didn't create anything. We conceded right on half-time where the team seemed to go for half-time early. We just stopped playing, let them cross and let them score, which was pathetic. The second goal was another set-piece calamity. There's a big shout for Nilsson to be fouled. He was pretty adamant at the time. I can see where he's coming from. You're not supposed to block someone else's run, and that's what he did.
Yeah, but he also just ran into him.
Yeah.
He is allowed to be on the pitch still. I remember at the time leaving Tannadice thinking, I hope Nilsson has a point, because he was so adamant. And then when I actually finally saw it again, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, mate?
I do think it's another instant of us trying not to blame the teams and try and blame the bastard in black, but Yeah. I think this is when as well, a lot of Duns fans turned. Like, there was obviously the chant. So
there was a bit of stuff going on.
Yeah.
You get sacked. The last game like that it's now fair for people to have turned.
For Aberdeen fans to be chanting, you're getting sacked in the morning to their own manager. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I don't like our fans turning on a manager like that. But at the same time, we're just finished on the 23rd of September, and we still, as we've been said after every game so far, we've not scored a fucking goal in the league. And what's the one thing you need to go if you want to win a game of football?
Goals in September.
But this is where the football monitoring board should have been taking everything into account. The start with Thelin was unbelievable, but from the end of that run of winning games to winning the Scottish Cup, we were utterly shambolic, and then we've started the next season on the same path. We probably, looking back now, the fact that we did sack him, we should have sacked him then. It wasn't working. That's enough time to say that he doesn't have it in him to turn it around. It's not 7 games or whatever, it's 27.
Yeah. We went to Fir Park on the 27th of September. Got beat 2-0.
Yeah, I remember this one. It was pushing the rain as well.
Changed everyone's minds.
Yeah, I think, change of tactic. He had been playing his normal tactic right through the start of the season. He went to the godly trusted Scottish Cup win tactic up in the 3 at the back. And to be honest with you, that game, it did seem to work a little bit, to be honest. We were a bit more solid. We did create some chances in there. There's a big shout for a pen when Ashish was heading towards goal, and I was like half pushed, kind of shoulder bar thing. Lazatic had a massive chance as well to win it. The keeper was like way off the line. He could have lobbed him, but he didn't lob him. But yeah, there's a kind of sucker punch at the end, really, from a pen perspective. But Meathoff, I think this was the first time that I thought about Meathoff being a bit dodgy at times. I think it started to come in a little bit in the season, but yeah, he'd made a huge error.
Absolutely horrendous.
Huge error. Allowed them off to score, and then obviously the pen at the end. And I do remember that. I do remember the pen waiting for VR to go through.
Yeah.
Just taking its time.
Game's already over.
Fucking yeah, when it was 1-0, you know what I mean? So, I don't think we deserved to get beat that day. I think we actually did play pretty well, but again, we were a team that hadn't scored a goal. This is now the end of September. Void of confidence. He's went back to the trusty tactic that won him the Scottish Cup. So we got a better performance, but in the end, the mentality of us just put the ball in the back of the net wasn't there.
Yeah, agreed. But there was, as you said, by changing the tactics, we were in that game.
Definitely.
And I think it was one of those games where I don't think Motherwell winning the game, it's not that they didn't deserve to win the game, but I think as well at the same time, if it finished a draw, I don't think there was an argument to say Motherwell should have won it.
No.
And I also think if we'd won it, I don't think there's an argument to say it should have been a draw. It was just it was so close that either team kind of deserved it.
Had we signed Lazatic, because we were linked with him the entire transfer window, had we signed him slightly earlier in the window, a little bit more minutes under him, he probably scores that one. Because he should have just fucking shot. He took 5 extra touches, let them all get back, and But I'm sure at the start of this week, because we played Motherwell United, Motherwell again, we were definitely saying at the start of this week, this is a huge week. Like, we need to turn it on now.
Yeah.
We lose all 3 games.
Yeah.
But we definitely left Fir Park after that second game going, like, we're going to be okay. There's, like, because of the performance we put in.
Yeah.
Yes, we had another injury time collapse at the end of a game, but we were definitely saying to each other like that there was something, like we have something about
100%.
we can turn this around.
Yeah. So,
And to be honest, it would have been a draw. If Meal didn't fuck up,
Yeah,
it would have been a draw.
Yeah.
The game would have finished probably at that point.
very much, yeah.
agreed. So we then went back into the Conference League. So this would have been our first Conference League game against, I'm going to say,
Shakhtar Donetsk.
Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm going to say this. I saw obviously Bayern Munich put Pataudry a few years ago. I think that Shakhtar team would have beaten that Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
The way they moved the ball about,
They
were incredible. And for us to get close to them, we got beat 3-2. We were unfortunate, but Chris, take it away.
Yeah, so I remember this one. I was in hospitality with the wee man for the game, so I was on the bevy.
Fancy.
Yes. So I was on the comfy seats. And for this one, we seem to score more goals in Europe than we do in the league at the moment. And with that, we opened the scoring with Carlson converting a pen that was given for handball, so it was good to see.
Stonewall.
Definitely Stonewall.
Oh, it was so stupid.
Yeah.
Common theme about to start here, but Shakhtar equalised through ourselves not clearing or fully clearing from a corner. We don't stop the cross, and then we'll let the guys drift off our defenders on a header across Mitov. Shakhtar scored twice in the second half within 6 minutes. I think that was the header actually. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But another cross that wasn't dealt with and knocked down for Pedrinho to smash it home. Later on in the game, Jimmy Thelin gave the Dons a bit of hope. Lazdic volley hit the bar. Devlin followed it in. But for me, Shakhtar just showed that they're level above the Dons, especially in this game, and they deserve the win. But to be fair, I think we played really well, and there was no disgrace in that game compared to the others that we'd seen in the season.
Yeah.
And we were just unlucky on occasion not to get something, but don't take away the quality of Shakhtar. They are some team.
Yeah, they were really good.
We performed very well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But we're just not at that level.
Yeah.
I think it's the third goal. It's from their left back, and he absolutely fucking leathers it into the back of the net.
It was unbelievable.
With his weak foot.
Yeah.
We don't have a player who could do that with his strong foot. No, it's a left back on the wrong side.
What I liked is how serious they took us, though. Like, our Turan before the game, there was clips after the game of him doing his team talking, and like, everything he talked about Aberdeen was deadly serious about how difficult it was going to be for them. But then when you actually see them on the pitch, it's like, mate, you shouldn't even think about how difficult it's going to be. Your team's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was definitely the game where Lazadic came alive. He had a few moments, like obviously the goal comes from him hitting a volley like on 180 turn, outrageous stuff. God, what a player he turned out to be.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely not a disgraceful performance. We then hosted Dundee on the 5th of October, and it was like London buses at Pataudry. We'd waited for a league goal.
Just off the back of Chris saying scoring more goals in Europe than in the league, we've now scored as many goals in Europe.
So 4-0 win against Dundee.
Yeah, this was fun for once, actually. It was good to watch Aberdeen. The one thing we could always rely on up until the end of the season was we will beat Dundee. A second penalty scored for Jesper Karlsson to put us in front. Aushish made it 2. It was a bit of a scrappy goal. He was. But I think it showed his quality because he was like falling and he stabbed it with the outside of his boot, kind of.
It was an unexpected finish.
Again, at this point we're getting signs every now and then, flashes that this will work. We've got Lazardich, now we're seeing Carlson and Aushish. Something's going to happen here. It did just all come together in this game, but specifically Carlson scored one of the best goals we've seen at Pataudry. Taking out 3 players with some, I still don't even know exactly what he did. His legs did a thing, the ball followed him, and then he leathered it into the back of the net. 4-0, nice and easy. Fuck off, Bresley.
Yeah, and I think that when you took the Motherwell game into it, you took the Shakhtar. Yes, we didn't win them, but there was the performances were better, and then we smashed Dundee. You've got to be thinking this season's turning round here.
We've flipped the switch.
Yeah,
this is us now.
You're starting to see some of the players that we've signed are starting to click a little bit. The team are gelling. We just want them to kick on and show what they can do. So yeah, that's basically what I was thinking at the time.
100%. The tactical change obviously did make us more structured defensively, slightly better. I know again we didn't score, but that Dundee game, phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
So we then headed to Paisley on the 18th and won 1-0. Better.
I know, me and you headed to Paisley.
Yeah.
What game did you go see?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. We've spoke about this already, so we're not talking about that. So yeah, I was on holiday, so I didn't get to go to St Mirren, but from what I've seen, it was better from the Dons, created chances and restricted St Mirren a lot in the game. St Mirren did have the ball in the net, a header from Gogish, but it was chopped off for offside. The initial ball coming into the box, Mitov was stopped by a player in an offside position for coming to claim the ball. So that was that. Back to 0-0. Richardson was then given his marching orders by VAR. He was cynically fouled by Palaversa, and then through frustration, he threw his leg skywards and made contact with the inside of Palaversa's thigh. It's a red card.
No,
you could see the.
We saw it at the time. I was like, yeah, he's gone for that.
Yeah.
Like, it's so stupid.
And then Palaversa in 96th minute of stoppage time gets the ball, plays a beautifully chipped ball for Lazetic to run onto, and practically on the byline did his utmost to copy Dimitar Berbatov, skinned the St Mirren defender, and with probably the size of a ball to aim for in that side net, and smashes it into the net.
I still do not know how he got that ball in that net. Even though we were right on the vision of view of it.
Looking back at that sort of stuff, I watched the highlights through Red TV. Willie Miller got so excited. I don't think I've ever heard him that excited. It was one of the best goals I've seen an Aberdeen player score.
Yeah, we've just been saying a couple of times, like Lazetic showing flashes. That was when we thought he's arrived.
Yeah,
that's a number 9. Like, what a quality player he is.
Totally agree with that.
Totally agree. And when you put the other performances, it certainly was starting to look up for us.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like a good place to stop for this week. The Dons started the season slowly. We saw moments that caused concern, but we also saw enough flashes of quality to give us hope that this team was ready to kick on. Back-to-back league wins had us wondering if Aberdeen had finally found their rhythm. But was this the start of something special, or just another false dawn? Find out in part 2 of our season review coming next week.
Thank you for listening, and please like and subscribe. Please also look out for Sheepfiddler ASC on TikTok, Twitter and Instagram.